Hi, I'm Franklin Feinberg. This is the second in a series of podcasts by John Cusano, Managing Director of Accenture's Global Insurance Industry, on the 2014 Insurance Technology Vision. John, in your previous podcast, you said there were 6 key trends that have emerged and that are likely to have a major impact on insurers' businesses over the next 12 months. You called the first of these the digital physical blur. That sounds a bit cryptic. Can you explain?
Yeah, sure, Franklin. Well, what we're referring to is the blurring of the distinction between the digital and the physical worlds. We're saying that sensors in your home, telematics in your car, Google Glass on your head, the Internet of Things, all of these new developments are bringing the real world online. Smart interfaces between these innovations are reshaping our world. They're giving consumers unprecedented power to inform themselves and to act swiftly and intelligently. They're giving insurers real-time connections to the real world so that they can transform their products and services to give a customer really a completely different, truly valuable experience.
Is this the disruption you spoke about in your previous podcast?
Well, it's part of it. The digital physical blur will provide insurers with a wealth of usage and contextual data. But we're really only scratching the surface. Already we're seeing products and services that utilize this data. Auto insurance policies that take advantage of telematics to calculate usage-based premiums, that's really already old news. How far are we from translating the principle to home and commercial insurance, where on-premise sensors are used not only to monitor the risk of things like theft, fire, and flooding, adjusting premiums dynamically, but also to help customers manage their risks? We're already seeing microinsurance for crops in emerging countries where claims are automatically settled when the monsoon dumps more than a specified amount of rain on a region. How about a customer automatically receiving on their smartphone an offer for an afternoon's worth of life insurance because they've just arrived at a skydiving club? Yes, it's about disruption, and really it's coming from every angle. Take Google's driverless cars. They're currently being tested in California. The drone cargo ships which Rolls-Royce is prototyping in Norway. Both of these have massive implications for insurance. In fact, if the insurance issue is not resolved, these landmark inventions may go nowhere, just as the first automobiles would not have been allowed on the roads if insurers hadn't provided the necessary protection. We believe the insurance industry needs to collaborate proactively with these pioneering companies to really help fuel and shape these innovations. They also need to collaborate with the regulators to ensure that they serve the true interest of the consumer. In this way, insurers can play a central role in the ecosystems that develop around these innovations and in the future of the industry.
You mentioned ecosystems. Do you see their importance growing in the scenario which you described?
Yes, absolutely. I think ecosystems will not only be important, they'll be inevitable. The world is becoming a much more connected place. And it's no longer that organizations are only becoming better connected internally. They're also linking seamlessly with their value chain partners. They're defining their value chains much more creatively than before. So insurance companies are connecting not only with their independent assessors, their auto repair networks, and their claim procurement retailers, but also with property managers that monitor RFID sensors in industrial estates, and companies like Nike and Adidas that allow consumers to record their exercise sessions, and firms like the Climate Corporation, which uses big data to predict weather and help agribusiness manage its risk. The issues that insurers need to grapple with is whether they are going to form these ecosystems with themselves at the center, controlling the customer relationship, or whether they will become part of someone else's ecosystem. To put it another way, will they play to win or to avoid losing?
This all sounds very exciting, but there are real privacy issues when all this data starts flying around. Won't there be a constraint on the type of progress you're talking about?
Well, you're absolutely right, and it is not a trivial issue. Insurers, the same as any organization that collects and uses consumer data, they need to increase their security so they can give their customers the assurance that their information is safe. I'll be talking about these in a later podcast, but it's worth pointing out that in a recent survey by Accenture found that 82% of consumers would be willing, in principle, to provide insurers with personal information if they were allowed by the carrier to optimize their coverage. The challenge facing insurers is, what are they going to do with this expression of faith from their customers? And actually with the deluge of innovation and the information that is creating such remarkable opportunities. One way or another, the answer is disruption.
In the next podcast in this Insurance Technology Vision series, John Cusano will be discussing the second of the 6 key trends which Accenture believes will have a major impact on insurers in 2014. It's called From Workforce to Crowdsource, and you'll find it here on the Accenture Insurance blog.